show. Call for your cum, I be checking through the peephole. Everything closed this late, but your contacts.
Yes, guys, outside, welcome back to Ace Podcast Nation. We are here again at Eat Sleep Media. Big thanks to them, as always, for hosting me and my guest. And I am very excited and happy to welcome back stand-up comedian, TV personality, radio personality, bit of everything, man.
A few different things, yeah.
Mr. Leroy Brittle, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. What about yourself, man?
I'm good. I'm
good,
really
good.
Like just happy to see you again.
It's good to be back, man, because we've had we've tried to organise it, haven't we?
Yeah,
A few different things have jumped up.
Life, mate.
Mainly my fault, but so apologies for that. But I'm here.
It's life, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
These things pop up, kids, but the thing I think you said you forgot it was half term, didn't you? I think
Yeah,
but
summer
it's
holidays,
like
yeah,
summer holidays,
completely,
half
yeah.
term. You're in the gods then, aren't you? Because the kids are just doing their own thing.
I haven't got a clue what's going on. I don't know when it begins, when it ends. Just
Well,
asking my missus,
What day is it?
Yeah,
What have we got on today?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah.
Or do you need... Are we doing anything together? Or are we doing something today? Because if not, I need to plan this and
Yeah. But the thing is with my missus, she refuses to share a calendar with me. And I'm everywhere, yeah? So I was in London last night, I'm, everywhere. But she's like, no, just tell me. I'm like, well, it's your fault if you miss out.
Yeah, like...
She's not listening to this, is she?
Well, funny enough, my missus is a bit the same because she is so super organised.
Yeah.
Everything's like colour coordinated and this and that. That's not me. Like I'm a bit chaos. Like
Good
I've
jazz.
got a diary.
Yeah.
I got a calendar on my phone. It's like Leroy Brittle, 1:30 whatever today.
And you're there.
That's all I need. I know where I got to be. But the school holidays, particularly the summer ones, is like 2 weeks in. I don't know what day it is. I don't know what date it is. I don't know how long's left of the holidays. So it's just like wake up, and because I got all mine are teenagers now. So it's like if you want to go do something all together, you got to wake them up as well.
Yeah,
because if you leave them,
they're lazy.
that's it. They'll go.
Yeah.
But it's going to be weird. I'm just saying that quickly. Friday. So Wednesday, my youngest boy goes away for 3 days to the army.
Oh, wow.
For his pre-assessment thing.
Yeah.
He's going to military college, and then March he's gone. Probably will never come back because of the training.
How old is he?
He's 16.
Wow.
So by the time he does his training for a couple of years, and then he does job training, and he's gonna have money because everything's paid for through it.
Oh, mate, you're gonna be a
So
lot
it's
richer.
so weird. Well, mate, this thing is, he's going in March, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest boy goes to uni a week tomorrow, so we're going from like a full house of like 5 and a couple of pets. Suddenly it's going to be me, my missus, and the youngest one.
Oh, wow, you're not going to know yourself, mate. You're walking around just in your boxer shorts and everything.
He's never there because he's always at his girlfriend's house. So it's like I'm just going to be going to my missus. Like, what do we do?
Yeah.
Like, what shall we do? Like,
let's
go to the pub.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
We did that the other day. Like it was like a Thursday or Friday, 9:30
in the morning.
Well, that would have been problematic then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But like I said to her, like, what are you doing? She said, no. I said, you finished work? And she said, yeah. I've just finished with Rodri. Should go to the pub. And then, because you're so ingrained on you that you've got like young kids,
stuff to do for tomorrow and all that type of stuff. Yeah.
We got 3 teenagers, like they can sort their own shit out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was wicked, I gotta say. We only went for one. Like it was just.
It's nice
the
to.
freedom,
It's nice to, isn't it? Yeah, of course.
I've had like 20 years of being regimented, so I was just like, let's go.
I'm still in the mix of that. I thought I was out, but I'm back in.
That's it. You thought you'd got out, and they pulled you back in.
Pulled me back in.
Yeah, it's fun. I laugh about it and say like, it's gonna be great, like it's gonna be. But I wouldn't know what to do myself with the silence.
Yeah, silence.
I like the chaos and the noise
and the mess and all that nonsense.
The bickering and everything about it.
Yeah.
But you've been a busy boy. You got loads going on.
Yeah,
you got loads coming up. I kind of want to actually chop myself off now.
Go on.
Before I start with that, I've been asking this question to people recently, just a couple of questions, because I find it interesting for myself. I'm not sure if anyone else will find it interesting. What's the last song you listened to?
Last song I listened to would have been probably last night on the train.
Okay.
It would have been, would it? Yeah. So that would have been a rapper called Ransom.
Okay.
He's really, really good. So he's bringing out like 4 albums a year at the moment, and it's just hip hop, boom bap, sounds like the '90s, and it's so it would have been one of his latest songs.
I'd love to check him out.
Yeah,
right,
really,
right up
really
my
good.
alley, that is.
Yeah.
So, in contrast to that, what's the first song that you kind of ever remember liking? Might be the first one from one of your parents, or just something that, like, the first song which sort of sticks with you when you were younger. Quite often it's
Probably
like
Fight the
cheesy
Power,
pop.
Public Enemy. My brother's
see.
playing that as a kid. So I'm lucky I got 2 older brothers who like dragged me up into their generation. So I was surrounded by hip hop as a young kid. So probably Fight the Power was
So that's quite cool, because normally you get a bit of a contrast between the two, because people, like, obviously it might be like a parent's cheesy 80s song or whatever, but yours is like hip hop and hip hop.
Yeah. And I was lucky. Like my first ever gig I went to was Stevie Wonder. My dad took me to Stevie Wonder in Wembley Arena back in like '87.
It's not a small one either, is it?
No. So I was very, very lucky. Yeah.
What's the favourite gig you've been to then, music wise?
Oh man, I've been to so many.
Are you someone who does it like
not anymore? Not
you
anymore.
Used to love it.
Used to, yeah. I used to go up to London quite a lot and go to gigs. J Electronica was one of those ones. So do you know much about J Electronica?
Vaguely.
So he was getting a buzz back in 2007, 2008, and then he dropped a song called Exhibit C.
Yeah.
And it was just the time he went to London, and it was just absolute, like, the energy in there. Yeah, that was in the Jazz Cafe.
Wicked, that is.
Yeah.
I got so I seen some good bands and that. Like, one of my favourites is favourite band I saw was, I went to see Oasis, but James supported them, and they were so good.
Were they?
They were just amazing. Like, and it's just like, I was there to see Oasis, like, but it was just like, this was just like this.
I'd love to see Oasis. I'd love to see Noel if he ever comes back down the bay. I'd love to go to see him.
I reckon he will, mate.
Yeah. Because Noel's my favourite of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less gobby, isn't he?
Yeah,
like,
he's the writer. He's
Yeah.
I'm a writer, so you know what I mean. So I get it.
I can see that. He's the. No, I don't want to say he's a talent, because I don't think you can have Oasis without
Liam. Without Liam's voice and swagger.
Yeah, he brought something very unique to it at that time, and people have never been able to replicate that either. You've seen many bands try it, and actually, it's the ones who end up succeeding are the ones maybe like the Arctic Monkeys or the Cortinas, maybe, who have got that same kind of swagger, but it's their own version of it.
Yeah.
Whereas so many bands over the
It's so
years
hard
try to just
have
copy it.
such
and fail.
a great frontman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's something
difficult.
special about it, isn't there? Like,
Yeah.
what do you reckon you have to be a good frontman?
I think you've got to have that. I wouldn't say arrogance. It's self-confidence. I think it's that self-confidence. You've also got to have a great band behind you, man.
Yeah.
You've got, like, Liam can be the front man of Oasis, but he's nothing without his brother's lyrics.
He did.
Do you know what I mean? He's, and I wouldn't say nothing, because he's always had a career behind,
But it's
following
never hit
that.
the same
It's-
height.
No. It's not Oasis without Noel's lyrics. You know what I mean? And you look at other great frontmen, like Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
He's still doing it.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is mental to me.
It's incredible to have that energy at that age.
I haven't got that energy now, mate.
Exactly,
I'm like
mate,
40 or something.
Yeah.
Do you know though, right? It's interesting because, like, you look at the Stone Roses, like Ian Brown, great frontman.
Yeah.
But actually, if you go, I've watched him live, and it was almost laughable. And he's like one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And like, it was bad.
Yeah.
But then about halfway in, me and my mate were just like, do you know what? We never thought we were going to get to see Ian Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of focusing on the fact that he's not warmed up, should we say, it was like, just get down the front and just enjoy it, and then just embrace the experience.
This is
and it
the
was
thing
wicked.
with seeing bands like people go to see Bob Dylan and expect to see and hear Bob Dylan from 50 years ago, when it's as an artist you've got to keep on growing and changing, and sometimes it's not what your audience wants.
No.
So it's a difficult balancing act to be a true artist. I think that's what, I don't want to speak for her, but like Lauryn Hill has struggled with.
Yeah.
In terms of that expectation of what people want and what she wants out of her career.
This is exactly it. I suppose it's the same with stand-up in some ways. Like, people want to hear the classics that you know, that one that joke that's gone viral or whatever. And then, like, as an artist or as a writer, as a performer, you kind of want to evolve.
You want to move on. You want to evolve and like,
it's a difficult balance, I guess.
That type of the things you're saying may not be true to you anymore.
Yeah.
So you're performing it, but it's not true.
Yeah, and I suppose with like stand-up with you, like, obviously, you as your career's evolving and you're growing and you're doing different material and you're writing material all the time.
Yeah.
What you wrote 10 years ago, like you say, you as a person has changed so
100%,
much.
and the facts have changed. So, you know, it's difficult for me talking about my son being young because he's 18 now. Do you know what I mean?
That,
and they're really good jokes, but it's not true anymore.
Yeah. How do you feel about that in terms of writing, like, within reality and truth? Because obviously, some comedians will just write stuff, whether it's, you know, it's true or not. Obviously, some base it loosely in
some
real life, and
some are more, I suppose, just creative and just more. They talk about stuff that doesn't exist. I try reality based it.
Yeah.
So it's you've got to experience life, and it's just I don't want to be too highfalutin, but it's just like comedy's about being true and being real. So that's why I just try to, you know, just reflect my life, report my life and what I see.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because, like, quite often, generally speaking, like, stand-up comedians, like, who do base their stuff within their day-to-day life sort of thing, you're like, they're not seeing or experiencing anything different to what, you know, me or someone else is. Nothing particularly mad's happened to them that hasn't happened to you. It's just the way they're able to tell it.
We get the little nuggets of something. Like, so you could be doing your daily life and you could think, oh, that's funny. And then it just goes from your head. We think that's funny, we log it, and then we're polishing it. And then working it, we take it on stage. Do you know what I mean? And then we work it and we try it and we look at it from a different angle. So we all, you know, all of my material comes from just everyday stuff and experiences that I have. And I try to do things to experience things. So, you know, so in terms of like the marathons and all that type of stuff, I try to do that just so I've got more experience. I even have done a vasectomy just for the...
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
It's funny, I had, when I had my vasectomy, it was the most...
We're brothers!
Yes, mate.
Yes!
It's, mate, when I had mine, right, after my third kid, and I said to my missus, I said, look, we don't want any more, do we? No, right? Because she nearly died, see, and he did, because she had eclampsia, so it was like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, as much fun as it is, this is just not happening. Like, so I was like, oh, I'll take one for the team.
Oh, hero!
Yeah, I know, innit?
Hero.
She had 3 kids, nearly died, but I'm the one
You're
who's
the
got to
hero.
go and have his legs in a stirrup. Yeah. But anyway, I found it to be the most weird experience going.
Surreal.
Because I was
number one, you're awake.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
They didn't tell me that. I thought I was going to be like
fast asleep,
cheered into the theatre and everything, and like, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
No, you're awake.
Not.
And did he whisper in your ear as well?
Oh, mate, it was.
He whispered in my ear.
So the first thing which I found unsettling is, number one, I thought it was going to be in hospital.
Yeah, it was just in some doctor's surgery.
It was in some doctor's surgery, and to make it worse, it was like round the corner from my house. I'm talking like 30-second walk, and I was like,
"It's not good.
This is not a good start." And you kind of go in, and she's like, "So have you shaved?" I was like, "Yeah." So she said, "And then your legs are in stirrups."
I didn't have mine in stirrups.
Oh, mate, I was in legs in stirrups, right? And there's like a nurse and doctors. And
yeah, there's a few student nurses.
And they're talking to you like it's just like, you know, dentist haircut, and I'm just like, how's your day? How's the family?
It's surreal.
How's the baby?
It doesn't last that long, does it, as well? And then you're out, and then that's when the pain starts.
Yeah.
It's brutal,
It's just not embarrassing. I would say it's like, it's humbling, like, to another level. But interestingly, which just reminded me of something, which is not necessarily a great topic for podcasting, but still it's reminded me of it. It's quite funny, so I'm going to say it anyway. About a year ago, I had to have a bladder scan.
Okay.
Do you know how they do those?
Stick something up your ass?
No. Try the front. Goes up there, like down the little, very small hole, down there, up through and into your bladder. Yeah.
Wow.
And I can tell you, right, mate, it is That's the most pain I've ever felt. It's the most emasculated I've ever felt in my life. I was just like, I could be dying and I will never have that done again. It was brutal. And
there's got to be another way. There has to be another way, isn't there? There's got to be another way, because you don't take...
No.
Oh, no.
I'd rather just cut a hole in my stomach and just go through there.
Look through.
Just make a new hole. Yeah. It was brutal. And so when I'm in the room beforehand and they're doing up blood pressure and checks and getting you ready, and I'm dreading it anyway, but I'm thinking...
to get it ready.
Right, well, they give you this... She goes, I'm going to put this cream on you. And I was like, right, okay. And I'm thinking, so it's like, how can I put this without sounding like a complete fool? So you're in this room and they say, do you mind if student nurses are in? No problem. Yeah. I got my trousers. I got no trousers.
They're all committed. They're all 10s out of 10s, aren't they? Yeah. Always. It's a cold day as well, so you're a little bit shorter. And
you're already you're scared
as well. Yeah.
So I've got all this, and I'm
so it's not a true representation of who you are.
And you can't even you have to say that as well.
Yeah. Usually it's warmer and
it's cold in you, isn't it?
The blood's flowing.
And so the student nurses come in after I've said yes, and as soon as they've walked in, I'm like, why did you say yes? Why didn't you just say...
Is this the Playboy student nurses?
They're all beautiful, and I'm just thinking, why didn't you just say no?
Yeah.
So, it's cold in you, isn't it? Yes, it is cold in you. So then they've gone, we need to put this numbing cream on. And I said, well, I hope it's going to, really numb it, because I don't want to be here. I'm, literally... In my head, I'm thinking, if you walk out now, what's the worst that's going to happen? You've got to walk out without your trousers on, but you're already in a room full of people with no trousers on, so does it really make a difference? And she goes, right, we've got to put this numbing cream on. Is it all right if I do it? And I'm thinking, is she going to hand that to one of those nurses, one of those student nurses now in the corner? And I'm like, I don't know, right, what?
She's going to pass on to Miss Columbia.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. She didn't.
She's done it herself.
Yeah.
He done it himself.
Yeah, it was. It was exactly, and it was brutal. So he's put a cream on and all that, and he's done it, and the tears, I couldn't walk for days, mate, honestly.
Oh, man, I don't want to talk about it. Oh, that's the scary
pain for days, mate. Every time you go to toilet, everything. It was the most horrific thing I've been through, and I've been through some shit.
Yeah, wow. That's making me wince.
Yeah, mate. Put it this way, to kind of close off that subject, I got Crohn's disease.
Yeah.
So I've had every camera in every place you can imagine, and that is by far the worst. Oof. The good thing about a camera down the throat is they give you an injection which makes you forget.
What?
So they give you this injection, so they...
Don't tell me that they've got like Men in Black?
I don't know what it is. They give you a drug.
Makes you forget.
Put it down the throat, so I can vaguely...
So how can you tell me it's happened then?
Well, I vaguely remember him, doing it, because you've got to swallow it, the first bit.
Do you know what that sounds like? That sounds like you've been taken by UFOs.
Yeah, and then, because you can only remember bits.
Have you been abducted? Was Miss Columbia a UFO?
Yeah, that's what really happened. The bladder scan, oh my God, mate. I can't even think about those bladder scans. But the throat one, they give you this drug, so I remember you got to they put it down your throat, and then you got to swallow it, and then they push it further down.
Fuck.
And that's much worse.
Oh man.
Much worse than any of the other places they put a camera. But because it's just, I don't know, it's difficult to explain. But I had a newfound respect for my missus. Let's just say that.
She's like, I wish I could forget.
Yeah, well that's it. Isn't it? Yeah, where's her drug?
Yeah.
No, she is. And they give you this injection, and then by the end of it. When it's finished, you're
taking his balls.
Yeah, he's shaking her hands and leaving. Money's on side. Yeah. No, it was just weird. Because as you're leaving, you're I vaguely remember it.
Yeah.
It's quite unsettling. And even now, I remember being in the room and I remember it, the start of it.
Wow.
Think about that. It's quite unsettling, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know how we got off topic to bladder scans and.
No.
Yeah, well, there we go. When we're talking about frontmen.
Yeah, we're talking about frontmen. Yeah.
How we got from there to scans.
You're starting a band with your bladder surgeon.
Simon and the Colombian nurses, here we go. Oh no, that's what we were on about writing a movie. So yeah, like again, like those stories, like that stuff which I've just talked about. You know, we have a laugh and a joke about it.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to say,
we could make that into material. Yeah. As soon as I was like doing my vasectomy, I'm logging things what's happening. In the vasectomy. Yeah.
And you turn it into a bit.
Yeah.
A bit which stayed as well.
Yeah. It's in the new show, Leroy.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Leroy. When is it? March
the 6th. So I'm doing a little mini tour before that with it, and then in the Glee
finishing
down the bay, March the 6th. Tickets are available on the Glee website.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll put the link to that in the blog.
Oh yes, please.
Actually, I'll put the link. But you know, just put it.
Yeah.
Get it. Get your tickets. But I seen a few people saying like they got their tickets.
Oh, nice.
You know, so like,
yeah.
I'm waiting for my birthday. My missus.
When's your
is, like,
birthday?
November. So my missus.
Mine's this Sunday.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, so you celebrated by coming in here.
Celebrate coming here, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
God, what are you doing for your birthday?
I'm going out tonight with the boys. Hopefully go for the meal tomorrow with the missus, and then like a family meal on Sunday.
Oh, it's a good weekend though, isn't it?
Yeah. September's always nice as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like not too hot.
Well, the way the weather's been these days, it's like the summer's absolutely.
It's been crazy.
And then September comes, the kids go back to school, and it's blazing sunshine.
Yeah, it's nice, and it's quiet.
It's great.
Yeah.
Make the most of the beach.
Sorry, kids.
Enjoy your school.
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to think how long it's been since you were here.
Oh, it's
Probably
been over
about
a year.
isn't it?
Been over a year, yeah.
But
it was summertime though, because it was boiling.
Yeah.
Do you remember we were absolutely roasted? Were we in this room?
Yeah, we were.
We sat down, weren't we? Yeah.
We were faced on that way. Yeah, it was. Like, it gets warm in here. I've got to be honest. It's not so bad in the like this sort of time.
Yeah.
But if you like a bit later, it's just warm. So what have you been up to, then?
Busy. This year, last year, like.
Well, I know you.
I've been writing.
I seen like pictures with. I seen a picture of you in a room for Shelter Cymru, I think it was.
Yeah.
Like some of the biggest comedians in the country there.
Yeah.
Rubbing shoulders with the.
Got a message out the blue on my agent. Got a message saying, "Do you want to do something with Rod Gilbert?" I was like, "Of course I do."
Yeah.
And it was like his almost like comeback new material gig, and it was lovely. Everybody was lovely, packed out. I think it sold out in like 15 minutes. Packed out. He was really cool. I only met him once beforehand. It's great to see him back fighting, fighting
100%.
fit. And I'm there just in the Glee, like the stage is there. There's a curtain basically. You're hiding behind the curtain, just watching the MC. And I'm standing there. I'm thinking, Rod Gilbert's bringing me on after Sarah Millican.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit surreal, do you know what I mean? But it was lovely.
Nice.
Really, really nice gig that was. Yeah. So,
there's a couple of comedians in that photo. I was like, I really like him.
Yeah. Gary Delaney was there.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's so
that's
funny.
her husband.
Is it?
Yeah, really, really nice couple. Yeah.
I did not know.
Didn't
that.
you? Oh yeah,
mate.
really nice couple. Yeah.
Oh, that's wicked. That's made my day. That.
Is it?
I really like both of them.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, and I shouldn't tell you this, but many times I do see his tour show. He parks outside here.
Does he?
Yeah, just like
I'm gonna have to keep an eye out for him.
Just stalk around 6 o'clock when he's on his tour show. Yeah.
He's one of my favourite comedians.
Yeah, he's
actually.
a good guy, man.
He seems like a guy, like he's really funny. And what I like about him is, like you can see him on Mock the Week, and he's about as close to Frankie Boyle in terms of pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
But he does it in a very different way.
He's very.
He does those one-liners.
He crafts his jokes. He works on his jokes, and you can tell that with his output in terms of constantly touring new material, and he really thinks about the craft of comedy. So I love that about him.
Yeah, because I think sometimes, like from the outside, people write off like one line.
They do. Yeah.
As if it's easy, but I think it's I'd argue it's harder.
I got a really good friend, Mark Simmons, and he does one-liners, and he's doing tours at the moment. You got to go see him, and he's doing an hour of one-liners, and each one-liner 30 seconds, bang, 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 bang. For me, I can, I got one-liners, but I masked them in stories.
Yeah.
And there's downtime and there's up and down time in my material.
Of course,
just in terms of the energy. But for them,
it's just
bang,
constant.
bang. Oh, it's amazing.
Tell you who I watched, who I thought was just like the output was just incredible. Stuart Francis, like when he first sort of came on the UK scene. Just the ability to, like you say, just put out an hour of just like non-stop, and then you're laughing, and you stop, like he'll give you like.
Oh, we give you breathers, because
but then
otherwise it's
like,
just too
bang.
much. It's too much. So you've got to play with the energy, because otherwise it's waves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Gary Delaney is he's out of all the comedians like outside of Wales, I guess. He's one which I hope one day I get to speak to him. Like, Well, him and Adam Rowe, like.
I supported Adam Rowe last year.
I was going to say that was one of my next questions.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of their podcast. Just because it's kind of my sort of humour in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I think I was surprised. So I found their podcast a couple of years ago, and enjoy it. And I like both of them. And then I wasn't really sure if I was going to enjoy their stand-up comedy because I didn't know if it was going to be the same. And I think one of the things they suffer from is their podcast is so big that they're doing stand-up, and then you've got people shouting out stuff from the podcast.
When I supported him in the Glee, it was a weird gig for me, to be honest, because it was mainly his podcast fans, and then a certain demographic.
Yeah.
And
they've all got in jokes, and
they've all got in jokes, and they were just like. I think he was a little bit late as well, so I come out, they're like, "Who's this prick?
Yeah.
Do you know who's this guy?" Because they all like.
They're waiting for him,
exactly. Yeah, so it's difficult supporting.
What's he like as a person? He seems like very.
I didn't get to
personable.
speak to him that much, to be honest, because he was late. So by the time I come off stage, he just got in there. She was just getting in his head.
Yeah.
And then I shot off because I was gigging in Cardiff, so I was like, I'm home.
Yeah. Get home quick.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Where's your favourite place to gig outside Cardiff?
Comedy Store is just ridiculous. I'm back there on the 30th of this month, so I can't wait for that. And then Mecca, New York, man. It doesn't get any better than Friday night, Manhattan, New York. Do you know what I mean? It's just like
stand-up cop. It's like the stand-up.
It's Mecca. It's Mecca, man. You know what I mean? It's like I went there in May this year, and you're just there, it's Friday night in New York, mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The energy's there. Do you know what I mean? It's
it not surreal though? Like you just at some point you're just like, well,
it was
a guy from Wales.
It was a surreal day because I just randomly bumped into Dave Chappelle on that Friday. It just randomly crossing the road with my son. I'm like, it looks like someone's famous there. Look back, I'm like, oh, it's Dave Chappelle. Jesus. And then he came up to me, started chatting to me, and I was conscious not to like be a dick rider. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want to be like all over him, so I was just like, I'm a comic from the UK. Started chatting, just shot it for a little bit, and I kept it rolling then. And then it hit me afterwards, like, just
Dave Chappelle.
And the thing is with Dave Chappelle as well, because I've met a lot of famous people.
Yeah.
And he was genuine in his interaction with me, and he treated me like a peer.
That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, and that's what's really stuck with me. And how I try to treat, I've always tried to be nice to people, but I've always been conscious of that now since meeting him, in terms of, especially people who are, just starting out in comedy.
Yeah, 100%.
And, trying to just make sure, and like Mo Gilligan, the guy constantly puts the ladder down to help other people up.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful to see. So I try to have that mindset in terms of my interactions with people.
But I think sometimes people forget, even outside of comedy, but like music or podcasting, stuff like that, is you forget, or they forget, should I say, that one day, they were starting out, or they were struggling.
Yeah, exactly. And we're all just people, man. What people's been going through in a day. So back to that thing. So, bumping into Chappelle with my son, and then, my name's up on lights. I'm Upper West Side, brilliant club. West Side Comedy Club. They said they want me back for an hour show. I'm thinking, I'm not going to sell tickets in New York for an hour. Do you know what I mean? But it's a nice thing to move forward towards.
Aim towards, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's New York is just something else, man, for comedy.
Are you someone who tries to take in things like that? So when you're doing it, try and really take it in the moment.
Oh yeah. Try to be as mindful as possible. So yeah. So
I think so many times in life, like we as humans, we're like constantly got to go somewhere or do something. No.
So I try to just enjoy the journey, man. So I've had some great things happen this year, but I've also taken my lumps. So whenever I take my lumps, I just write a few things down in terms of, the good things that's happened this year. Because right now, this week they filmed Live at the Apollo. I didn't get Live at the Apollo this year, but someone else did, so it's their turn. Do you know what I mean? So you don't try to be bitter about anything
Yeah.
like that. Just appreciate what's happened to you this year, and just keep working towards next year.
I like that, mate. That's
Yeah,
good
because it's
attitude
like
to
it's
have.
not mine. It was never mine. No one's taking it off me.
No.
They've earned it.
That's it. That's interesting. I have to tell you a story
Yeah.
later on, which I can't say on here, but
Yeah.
a similar experience to that for
Yeah,
myself. But
yeah.
I think it's easy to get lost in being a bit bitter or a bit thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's and not in like a nasty way, just that because you're
Of course,
ambitious and you want
it's
it.
competitive, and it's it could potentially lead on to other things as
Of course
well.
it could,
But
yeah.
I think it comes with maturity as well. It comes with a little bit of life experience.
Yeah.
And just realizing that, sometimes take your time and just enjoy the journey, man. So I'm enjoying the journey. And when I found out I didn't get live at the Apollo that day, the same day, I got a phone call from a gig that I was booked in for Belfast, saying they were filming it for ITV anyway. So I found, do you know
So
what
you
I mean?
had bad news, but
Yeah, good news,
followed,
but yeah, exactly.
you know,
So it's just how you react in the
Yeah.
bad times, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because everyone could be
100%.
cool when it's good.
Yeah, it's easy to be happy and
Easy to be happy when it's good, man.
yeah. What's has there ever been like a gig where you've sort of been like, this is mental, like just in terms of, I don't know, where you were as a kid to then suddenly being like performing in front of these people, like where even if it was your hometown gig where you're like performing to like all these people in your hometown. Just,
No,
has
it's
there ever
weird.
been
It's
a thing,
weird.
or is it because you've been like you've just
I've,
gone on your journey?
I've
and you-
always I was listening to someone talking about it the other day, and it was like my confidence comes from my competence and my experience. So the reason I'm confident on stage is because I know that I put in the hours.
Yeah.
I've done these gigs. I've made people laugh. The material works. I'm not going out there just with irrational confidence, like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to be great. I know that it's worked.
Yeah.
So, like, even when I'm doing like that Rod Gilbert gig, and I'm in the room with Rod Gilbert, Sarah Millick, and Gary Delaney, it's dope. But I'm like, well, I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You're not there by fluke,
Exactly. So even it was surreal just thinking like Rod's bringing me on after Sarah, like, of course he is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Why
man.
wouldn't he be?
Yeah, I like that, because you worked your way there. innit?
Exactly.
It's
So
like,
it's
you're not just going out there throwing shit at the wall.
no,
It's
no,
like
and
you've
my
honed your craft.
expectations of myself as well is that of course you should be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to do it, you do it. Innit? Then I suppose that's what you've done over the years, isn't it?
And also I heard a wicked quote there. So I was in London yesterday, emceeing for like a TED talk.
Okay.
And the last words from one of the speakers on the last speaker, she was talking about her dad, and her dad inspired her, and he had a quote. He said, "When you dream in first class." I love that.
Yeah, that's good. That is. I
Exactly,
like that.
exactly, man. Yeah,
It's weird, like because I think a lot of when you're on your journey to wherever you want to go, whatever you're doing, is how you deal with the knockbacks.
yeah.
Will ultimately decide.
It
where
defines
you.
you.
End
I
up.
think it defines you. I really think that, as you say, everyone could be cool when it's all good.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that I've had enough life experiences where I've taken knocks.
Yeah.
I've been down. Do you know what I mean? And I've got the resilience built in me. And so if a gig doesn't go well or a booker doesn't like me, it's like, okay, that's cool, but let's just keep
Yeah. Just keep moving.
Yeah, man. So I'm very fortunate in that respect because we all take our knocks, don't we?
It's interesting what you said though about the Apollo thing and then the ITV thing coming
Yeah.
pretty much straight after. Like, quite often away, innit? Like something will happen, you might not get what you want
Right.
or get
So-
something, but then
So there's
something
another Apollo story. So last year, I think I was in the running for it, and then I got a phone call. I got a message from my best friend whilst I'm on holiday in Ibiza, saying he got live with the Apollo, which meant that I didn't get live with the Apollo. So for 15 seconds, I was like, and I thought, it's not about you.
Yeah.
This is your best friend getting his dream.
Yeah.
And everything just got clear, and I was happy for him. And it wasn't about me, because it's not about me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it was just like, I was stoked for him. And then he smashed it, and he absolutely hammered Live with the Apollo.
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
just like, it wasn't mine. And then the weird thing was, they were filming in Hammersmith, London, that week. I picked up a Netflix filming part, which I'm not even an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to go to London, the trains were broken, so I had to get diverted and walk past Live at the Apollo whilst it was filming. And it was almost like the universe saying to you, just...
Yeah.
Soon. Yeah. And then, you know, I was filming for that Netflix thing. I think that's coming out soon, so...
You'd like to talk about that then?
Yeah, it's called Baby Reindeer. I think it's supposed to be out this month, but I'm only doing a small part. I'm playing an MC in a comedy club, so it's not really acting.
Netflix, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's going to be on the poster. Yeah. They don't know if it's
Tell
special.
the kids, look, we're going to watch Daddy on Netflix
Yeah,
tonight.
exactly. Forget about Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dad's on Netflix tonight.
Yeah.
And because
I didn't get paid that much, sorry, so we're still living here.
But because it's a Christmas film, we're going to watch it every night.
It's not even a Christmas film.
Isn't it really?
No, it's not a Christmas film. It's called Baby Reindeer. I'm not sure why. But funny enough, the guy who wrote it, and he's a brilliant comic.
Wow.
He's from Scotland.
Oh, is it?
And I was like, I'm from Cardiff. He's like, oh, my nan lived on Taff Embankment. I spend all my Christmases and everything in Grangetown.
Crazy.
That's nuts.
Small world, mate, to that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so weird.
Lovely guy as well.
But that's like, every time we used to go to like Magaluf or Benidorm when I was younger, like 18, 19, every year we would just see people from like the other side of Cardiff.
Yeah, you recognise them a little bit, didn't you? Yeah.
And one of the boys, like, he used to work at British Gas at the time. No matter where we went in the world, and I mean,
because everyone worked
wherever
at British
we went,
Gas. I worked at British Gas.
We'd see someone, you know, we'd say hello, whatever, and then we'd walk off and we'd be like, oh, who was that? Oh, he works in British Gas.
Yes, everyone worked there, mate. I'd done a year.
Insane, like. But no matter where you were in the world, he would just meet someone. So, Live at the Apollo is the aim.
No, it's just one step.
Like,
it's just one step in there, mate. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, man. It's
I think do you know, I was watching a clip of you on Instagram the other day, and I was thinking, like, I think the way that your comedy has developed, even in maybe like, say, clips from 2 years ago, 18 months ago, you can see not a massive difference, but I think you can definitely see an evolution in your
and people say exactly.
Like
That's what I've worked on in terms of storytelling. So I was never really a storyteller. So I've tried to work on that, work on my weaknesses and get stronger.
It's the only way to be, though, isn't it?
Exactly, man. So
you'll get better otherwise.
It's basically going to the gym, doing all the new material nights, and just working at your craft, honing your craft. Because that's the only thing you can do. Everything else is out of your control. So get good, become undeniable at your craft.
And I suppose, like the last time we had you, and we talked about writing a lot. So I kind of like this, talking about the stage side of it. I'm a stand-up comedy geek. I am. So this is like, I love it.
Yeah.
So like, but I'm interested by it because, like you said, it is like going to the gym, and the only way you can really improve is particularly on like things like your stage presence and storytelling and stuff like that. You can't really improve on that at home. No. Like, you can write at home when you can maybe practice a little bit or whatever, but like, ultimately you can't practice without an audience.
You've got to get your chops. You've got to get your chops. Yeah. There's no shortcut to it.
So how difficult is that for someone who's going into stand-up comedy, like, first? Because, like, look, now, I love stand-up comedy. I would never be able to do it because I don't think I've got the ability to, and my missus tells me all the time, I take too long to tell stories, and I get lost halfway through.
It's a skill to learn, isn't it?
I think it's the sort of thing which I would like to learn how to do.
Do it.
But I'm not necessarily interested in
but just do it once. Just do it once.
Yeah,
I'll hook you up. Just once. What's the worst that can happen? The worst thing that's going to happen is that they don't laugh. And that happens to every single stand-up in their life.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the worst thing that happens.
Because it doesn't bother me, like, speaking live, and be like we were planning to do a live show and stuff before Andy got a Middlesbrough job and that.
I'm the opposite. I can't do, like, when I was working in, like, for businesses, I can't do presentations and stuff because my mind is tuned in to reactions and laughter. Yeah. So if people are just taking in this spreadsheet there, information, I'm thinking I'm fucking dying on stage. Yeah.
That's interesting, that is.
How is Andy anyway, man?
He's good. Yeah. He is really good. He obviously he left Middlesbrough since, but he's doing a show on I forget what it's called, Red Army TV or Middlesbrough TV or something like that. I'm still trying to like coax him back.
Oh, he's a good guy, man. He came on my podcast.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
he's one of my favourite people, mate.
Yeah.
And like, we talked about things being like surreal. Like one of the most surreal things for me in the last couple of years is getting to know and becoming friends with some people who not so long ago I was like worshipping as
it's
heroes.
weird. It's weird, isn't it?
And then suddenly, like you text, like you get in text or whatever, and like there was a point I think last year maybe where my phone was just on the table and we're like getting ready for dinner or something like that, and Kev McNaughton had texted me something. And my father-in-law or my missus, I think it was, picked up the phone and was like, Kev's just texted you, and and just for a minute I was like, yeah, Kevin McNaughton just texted me. Like,
you know what? It's crazy because
it's a weird.
I have those. My little niece come back, and she loves football. She's like, so what footballers have you met? And I'm going from my phone, and it's like, oh, it's Thierry Henry. There's Arteta. There's Aguero. Do you know? It's just like, oh, there's Bale there. You know what I mean? It's it is. And then another thing, like. My daughter, she's 7, she loves Matilda the musical. Loves it on Netflix. And I'm like, oh, that's my mate on there. Yeah. So I'm texting my mate saying, oh, my daughter's loving you on Matilda. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think it takes, like, you've had a lot more time to kind of get used to it, obviously, but like, I do find it surreal. Like, another one was, when the boys play football on a Saturday, watch the series, it starts tonight, they could like sit in my car and we put music on. 50 Cent is the music on the way to football, gets you in the mood. So there's about 5 of us, like me and 4 boys, and I can't remember what it was. I think that was my boys sat in front, and I said, I need to phone Gareth, the coach, because we're on the way there. So he's flicking through my phone, and obviously the boys are reading all the names going, and it's like Emil Heskey and all these different people, but like to them they were like, why have you got all these people in your phone? And it's just like, it's just friends or people. It takes a bit of getting used to. And like for me, like I don't want to go over the same thing again, but like I went to some boxing the other week, and about like 3 or 4 people came up to me who had watched the pod. And I found it really unsettling. But
it's weird.
The reason
it's weird. You're not used to it, mate.
No.
You don't know why are they looking at you?
Yeah.
You think, what the fuck are you looking at?
Yeah.
I know exactly how you feel.
Well, the thing is for me as well, is because
goes up.
I don't go out. Like I used to go out regularly into town or to gigs or whatever. I haven't been on like the going out thing for a long time. So the last time I was going out, it's like if people were looking at you, you had to be ready to sort of
Mate, I know exactly. It's a weird, and you don't want to come across as like a prick, but like you think, why are you looking at me? Oh, nice to meet you, mate. Yeah, it's a weird one, mate. It's a weird one.
How do you deal with it? Like you just got
I don't know.
Just got to, because I was for about 5 minutes.
I'm naturally shy as well, so it's a difficult thing. It's difficult, isn't it?
Like because I had spent like the first 5 minutes of this conversation with this guy, lovely guy, and I was like, I'm in my head, I'm trying to think where I know him from, because he started the conversation with, oh yes, Si, what's happening? How's your family?
Yeah.
How's the kids? Like, how's everyone going? So I'm thinking, right, I know this person.
You don't want to be a prick. Like, what's your name again? It's like,
no one wants to do that, do
we're
they?
Cousins. Yeah.
Exactly that. So like, I'm trying to wing, who is it? And then like 5 minutes in, he's gone, I watched the podcast last night. It was wicked. And I was like, right.
Yeah.
And then I'm relaxed then because I'm
You
not
know
on
the context.
Yeah. But it's the lack of context which I think is
I think that's it.
But yeah, that happened a couple of times, and I still find it weird, and I now and again I get it in Cardiff because people watch like the football shows and stuff. But I suppose it's part and parcel of a thing. Like it's got to be weird for you, like because you do a lot of gigging.
Yeah.
So you're gonna just
you
naturally bump into people.
You do.
Bump into people while you're shopping, while you're
that happens a lot. Yeah.
Do people approach you at like weird times sometimes, like if you're with your kids, or people
not
quite
with the kids.
Quite respectful of it?
Yeah, I think they are. Not with the kids, or like
you just sat down at the restaurant with your missus and it's like, Leroy.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, like especially in Cardiff, it's always been like that for me.
Yeah.
So I got 2 older brothers who look exactly like me, and I've always been out. So I know I've worked in British Gas as well, mate. So I know everybody. I know everybody. So people are always like say, hey, they used to joke around like my old boss, like they couldn't walk through town with me without
just seeing someone.
Yeah, so like just walking down Bute Street just now, I got stopped 4 or 5 people, and these are not comedy fans. These are people who know me all my life.
People, like.
Do you know what I mean? So it's always been like that for me.
Oh, I see. I love Cardiff for that.
I love Cardiff, man.
Do you see yourself ever moving away from Cardiff?
No.
Is there would you like to move abroad one day, or?
I'd like to have a place abroad.
But you wouldn't go there.
Well, I wouldn't do it to the kids and like lose their friends and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Especially like when they're kids, like just whip them away.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're going to live in Spain.
Unless you got super money.
Yeah.
Then big therapy for them.
Yeah. It's like it's plonk them in a new school where they don't speak the language and they don't.
Yeah, I just couldn't do it to them. And like,
you go to school, I'm going to go and sit in the villa.
I'm going to chill.
Sit by the pool for the day. I'll pick you up later.
Yeah.
No, it's brutal now. But like I say, unless you got the super cash, it's I like Cardiff. Cardiff is my favourite place, like city wise.
Yeah.
I think. Like I like Manchester as well, but Cardiff is my place.
Yeah,
I think as I get older, I become more comfortable with that. Like I think when I was in my early 20s, I think almost like I was like aiming to move out of Cardiff eventually.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. I get it. I've always liked it here. It'd be nice to live somewhere else, but just like the kids and everything, it's like, I couldn't do it. But I love where I live, so I'm good.
Indeed, mate. So, you still doing the radio show, innit?
No,
you stopped it,
we were doing it, and then the phone stopped ringing. Do you know what I mean?
No way.
Yeah.
Surprised by that. You seem to be enjoying it.
I did. It is what it is, though, mate.
Part of the business, I suppose, isn't it? Like
it's not.
doing different stuff.
I'm a big believer of keeping like the main thing.
Yeah.
So that was just something else. So
Just
if it
something
falls
on the
off, it's
side,
alright, man.
Yeah, I like that attitude as well because I think
you can lose focus.
Get distracted
sometimes.
on the main thing.
Yeah, of course, 100%. And like, it was Saturdays as well, which is the
VDA,
main night.
isn't it? That's comedy day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose the more you have those side projects, the less time there is for comedy.
Yeah, so I try to
really focus
family
and you just cannot do everything.
No, you can't. So there's power to saying no to some things as well. And I'm trying to really focus on stand up this year. I'm doing bits of writing and stuff like that, but stand up is like everything that revolves around that.
With so you go on that like your tour and then you finish off in the Glee.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I can't wait. Yeah. Looking forward to it. I've done 40 minutes of new material on Wednesday in Barry. I'm building up that, so it's gonna be nice.
How is it with the new material stuff? Because obviously you'll have material that you're comfortable with, which you're able to just go on and go bang.
Yeah.
I know this is gonna rock.
Yeah.
But then you'll have this new stuff. Then, like, how difficult is it to maintain the same stage presence, the same confidence?
Yeah, it's the confidence. It's the confidence in it.
Different, isn't it?
Yeah, because the audiences can smell when you're like
nervous,
a little bit nervous.
Yeah,
so you've got to go out there like it's a good joke. And then if it falls flat, man. You haven't said it. You can't blame the audience like they didn't get it. It's like you didn't tell the joke right, or the joke is probably not funny.
Yeah.
I had a few of those the other day. I thought it was funny, but then the world said that it's not funny.
Yeah.
So
it was funny.
It's democratic, isn't it? Man?
Yeah, I suppose
that's
weird. It's a weird way to look at it, but it is kind of like just like if they find it funny, they laugh.
Exactly. Or it needs something else. It needs a different angle.
Yeah, you could change the way you get there.
Or you attack it. Change your premise. Because you usually come up with the punchline beforehand. The punchline is that, and then you work on the premise. So sometimes you just got to go from a different angle.
Fit it in and I like the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the concept of putting it together. Like.
Yeah, the craft of it. Yeah.
I find it interesting though because like I feel like if I told a joke which I thought was really funny and it fell flat, I wouldn't blame the audience. Like I agree with you. It's like if it's not funny, it's funny. But I
it hurts.
I feel like I just have the attitude of like, well, I thought it was funny. So.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you can do that on your material because they know you're trying stuff. So you got to your pen and pad. And you're like, okay, that was shit. But, do you know what I mean? And I thought it was funny, but you could play with it. And sometimes that's part of the performance of new material.
Have you ever had like a bit which you were like convinced was going to be.
Oh yeah, I've
part
got
of your
one.
show was going to be
I've got
good,
a joke I've been trying
and it
to
just won't work
for about 3 years, but it just doesn't.
Can't get it.
It just
quite to click, is it?
Yeah. Should we give it to the audience now?
Yeah, go on. Maybe they'll help you like find the final
maybe
piece.
maybe I'll get cancelled.
Oh, there we go.
So, all right then. Okay.
You've intrigued me now.
Okay. We might have to cut this. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
is it gaslighting if they're crazy? So I'm going at the wrong angle or something. I don't know, but
I find it quite funny.
yeah.
But like,
Is it gas if they're already crazy?
yeah. It's so what? You try to find a way there, basically.
Try to find a way without getting cancelled.
Yeah, well, and I suppose that's the new thing with
Oh, I don't care about that. You can't.
But like, you
how
have
are you gonna, no one can cancel me. Why? What am I saying? What am I saying? What am I doing? I'm not doing anything bad.
But I also don't get this whole thing of like, it's just words, isn't it? Like,
yeah, and I'm not saying anything offensive to anyone.
No,
I'm not going
targeting a certain person.
No, exactly. And like, you got people who are angry online, but online's not the real world.
Do you know what I not realised, but like really clicked with me, probably about a year ago, was, if like, say, I put a show out, right, and there's loads of people going in the comments going, you're shit, you can't say that, you can't say this, blah, 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 abusing you, whatever. Is that I realised, well, if I just turn my phone off,
it doesn't exist.
Gone.
Exactly. I'm from the old school where there used to be real bullies. Do you know what I mean? Instead of, someone misspelling something and cursing you, I was like, all right, don't, and I get comments on Instagram and stuff, and I'm just like,
scroll on.
Don't let it even take up any of my time when I'm with my children.
Yeah.
I don't let it have any bearing on my mind state when I'm just chilling at home.
But it's like what you said, like, when I grew up in like 80s, 90s, like, you had to worry about like
There's real problems in the world. There's real problems in the world.
And there was
even
real
now, there's
stuff.
real problems in the world, man. So someone having a pop online.
But people just
really
go down
matter.
that, they go down that rabbit hole, don't they? And they fall into this online
and,
thing.
And I've only had a little bit of it, so I haven't had
same as me,
the wave of what can happen.
But I still think the same concept works, no matter if you've got like 5 million people saying it or 5 people saying it. If you turn off your phone and just don't go back to it.
Yeah, I think that's where it comes from. So, and this is one of the struggles. Well, I'm not massive on social media because I don't go on social media for validation.
Yeah.
So people go on sometimes to social media for validation. So when it's all good, they're like, yes, everyone loves me. And then one person says something and it's, wow, the world's over. It doesn't matter to me. So I need to build a following, but it doesn't matter to me in terms of my emotional state.
Yeah, I wish I didn't need social media.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
I'm not really that bothered about it. I don't really like it. But I do.
It's a
for the job,
it's a
isn't it?
tool. It's a great tool to build a following and to engage with people as well. But yeah, it doesn't. I'm not there like thinking.
Checking it.
Yeah, well, I do check
No,
it. You always
like,
check it. Like,
oh my God, this person said that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And it is weird though. I can see how it's easy to go down the rabbit hole, right? Because I do spend so much time on my phone, having to do something for something. But like, say I had 5 comments, right, and 4 of them are like, oh, great show, Si, nice one, oh, loving the content, wicked, and then the 5th one is, this host is shit, he doesn't know what he's on about, whatever.
You're gonna focus on the negative
every time.
Of course you are.
And it used to drive me nuts because I didn't know this person, didn't care who it was, but it was just, could not get past. Like, you've got 90% of those comments are...
Well, I had something a few weeks ago. So I got a joke on James Bond, and someone commented that Trevor Noah done that joke, and I was like, yeah, he did. I'd done that joke a few years ago as well. So it's just same thinking, but it's different angles. And then someone else came to my rescue on there, started arguing with the person who was having a go at me. The one who had a go at me started following me, and we're all friends now.
It's crazy, yeah.
And I was just, I just tried not to engage, just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and now leave people to it.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Because you need everyone.
Someone came to my rescue. Yeah.
Heroes.
Exactly.
He was like the online bodyguard.
Carrying
Carrying you through Instagram.
Yeah, pushing people away.
Mate, it's funny. Like social media, because it's not real, is it? Social media,
it's not
like
real.
it's
But it does create real results.
It can cause real problems as well, I guess.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, like it's strange to me that this online thing, which isn't a physical thing, you can turn it off at any time.
The Wi-Fi goes down, you're fucked.
Yeah, or like it just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's this weird thing that controls the population. Like everyone's like, you walk down the street or you go in a restaurant, and there's just people like staring at their phones. And I saw a clip yesterday of like a couple, right? And they look, about our age, right?
Yeah.
So probably got kids and a family, and they're out, and it's just the two of them, and they're out in like a restaurant. Looks like it's abroad, like it's got some sort of live entertainment in the background, and they hold their phones up to take a picture together, and you think, oh, nice, couple, reminds you of yourself, like being with your wife or whatever. And then as soon as they're taking a photo, they both just like almost not quite turn their back on each other, but turn like that away from each other, and they're just on their phones. And I just thought, Jesus Christ, if anything ever encapsulated like where the world is going, that was it. Like, but that's alien to me.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't it? Like, I'm so lucky with my wife that she's not like bought into all that type of stuff, so we don't need to post pictures of each other for validation.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's nice. I'm lucky. Yeah.
My missus doesn't like having photos at the best of times.
Yeah.
Even on our wedding day, she was trying to get out with them.
Yeah.
But like, now that I've got this, even less so.
It's the nature of the beast.
Because she sees it as like. So I used to have it as like Facebook was like my thing, where I wouldn't accept anyone I didn't know because I had pictures of the kids on there.
Yeah.
But I was getting like 20 friend requests a day from people I'd never met, and I just said to her, like, I kind of have to open this up now.
The other day I deleted all the pictures of the kids on Instagram and stuff. Because it's got to serve one thing, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? So I get it, man. I get it.
So I pivoted, and I was just like, right, so I'm going to take the pictures. The majority, I think I've taken like 90% of the pictures of the kids. Anything which kind of shows where we are and stuff like that. And then, like, I haven't opened it up completely, but I've made it so people can't friend request me, but they can follow.
So it's like it's like
just leave it at that, like, because I felt like I was missing. Like the whole point of my social media is to grow.
Exactly.
So like, if you're not going to use it,
if you're going to be closed off, it's going to be difficult, isn't it?
Yeah. So Facebook just seemed to be going well. Right. So
I got to make a move now to go pick up the girls from school, or the daughter from school. I got to run back as well. That's why I'm in my running kit. Training for the Cardiff half. So
when's that now?
1st of October.
Not long.
So I'm in the comedy store the night before, and then come back. And then, it's fine, it's only London.
Preparation.
It's only London, mate, it's fine.
Do you drive up to London then?
No,
on
the train.
Yeah.
In the train.
It's not so bad then, is
it's alright, It's
a brutal drive. Like.
Yeah, it's a horrible drive.
What? So we'll put all the links.
Like, I'm also at the Motor Point in November with Mo Gilligan.
What day?
23rd of November.
Just after my birthday.
Oh, nice. But then the main show is the 6th of March. Leroy. I'm pointing at my tool, but... You'll put
the link there.
Yeah.
I could write anything there now.
Could you?
Okay. I'll just write it and you'll just point it to it. Be up on TikTok. You'll be flicking through like Instagram, and then suddenly like an image or a GIF will come up of you going.
Yeah.
It's just like there we go. No, it's all good. As always, mate. Absolute pleasure to catch up.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And like. It's always the same. Like I could sit here and speak to you for the next 3 hours. Kids stuff.
Shit to do.
I admit I got so much editing to do. Right, I got a series coming out at 8 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
And I haven't even recorded the voiceover for it.
Oh mate, sort yourself out.
Well.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done everything for it. I've just got to do the voiceover, so it's not. It's just.
Is you here?
No, I'll go on and do it.
Okay.
I got my little home set up to do the shows with Rugby and that. So. Right, nice one, mate.
Nice one.
Enjoyed it.
Catch a little contact. Only thing showing this late be the freak show. Call for your cum, I be checking through the peephole. contact. Baby, live it up, you know the work week coming. Turn it into profit, so the hurt means something. Shine on the competition, shawty, that's easy. Cuban on the collar, so the next day freezy. Fresh white tee, ain't good, no stains. Swinging in the rental, got it hogging both lanes. Quarantine clean, but the streets still dirty. Round to the 9 if it's past 8:30. I've been on my grind like I'm tryna get sharp. It ain't come with keys, all I did is hit start. I ain't even planned it, but a nigga hit still. Car full of baddies, got me playing fifth wheel. Juke jammer, baby, got the party going up. I do what I wanna, I don't plan on growing up. See you slamming Henny and don't plan on slowing up. Call your boss and tell him you don't plan on showing up. Lungs full of gas with a handful of goals. Boys in a band, get a band for the shows. Stack it up tall till I stand on my toes. Come and get your man, he'll stand for the hoes. I've been on M's, got him hopping on deep. Tell the bartender, get it popping on me.